Welcome to Logan Park in Dunedin for this match week 6 fixture of the 2020 ISPS Handa Women's Premiership. It's between Southern United and WaiBOP. It's going to be a really interesting game today. My name's Morgan Jarvis and I'll be commentating today's match. This is Southern United's final home match of the season and they'll be desperate to pick up their first points of the season. They've beaten WbOp in their previous 4 meetings over the last few years, but WbOp have shown quite a bit of promise this season, and they caused the upset of the season last week when they toppled the previously unbeaten Northern Lights up in Cambridge. So it could be a really intriguing game as we're nearing the end of this shortened season. I'm sure both teams will just be desperate to try and pick up 3 points. The weather conditions here at Logan Park, it's a really nice morning, although the wind is just picking up a wee bit. Hopefully the rain stays away, and obviously playing on the brilliant turf facility here, there'll be no excuses for the players really, so it should be a really good open game of football. So if we look at the Southern United team list there, fairly settled squad there. Certainly a star there in the midfield in Macy Fraser, New Zealand under-17 World Cup star, of course, making her mark with Southern United, and Canterbury colleague and Blair Curry starting in goal. She's had a good tussle in goals with Tessa Nichol this season. And for WbOp, well, their goalkeeper Riley Godbold was in sensational form last week to deny Northern on a number of occasions, and yeah, again, they've got plenty of promise and a wee bit of experience in their squad as well, with the likes of Kate Loy, along with some really exciting young players coming through. So the players are making their way out into the middle of the pitch, along with the officials, with referee Caleb Marsh once again taking control. Really talented young referee from down this way. As both the teams line up, and we're not too far away from kickoff here. In other fixtures this round, well, yesterday we saw Capital take on the Canterbury United Pride, and Canterbury came away with the win there up in Petone. At 1 PM today, Northern Lights will look to keep their, I guess, slender grand final aspirations alive when they host the winless Central, and Central are the team that Southern United will be taking on in their final match next weekend. And remember that this match, that match, and all of the Men's National League matches as well this afternoon are all streaming live on skysportnext YouTube channel, along with Sky Sports 7 a game on that later on as well. So the captains making their way into the middle of the pitch. Southern United captain Rose Morton shakes hands with Michaela Foster, as that wind, which often does rip through the Logan Park turf facility down here, does pick up. So Southern United, so they've got Blair Curry in goals. Along the back we have Dunedin Tech defenders Hannah Mackay-Wright and Kelsey Kennard. Their club colleague Rose Morton, the team's captain, will be sitting in front of them in the midfield. I'd imagine that Tony Power and Kate Guilford are likely to line up in the fullback positions. We'll see Renee Bacon, Sammy Morrell racing down each flank for Southern, trying to whip in some crosses. And starting up front today is the 19-year-old striker Amy Hislop, who's appeared in every match this season, a couple of times off the bench. Super talented striker, golden boot in the women's local Premier League down here this season with 24 goals, and scored a few goals in the National League last season as well. So Southern United, unfortunately, this season have been crying out for goals, and it's not for a lack of trying. They've been unlucky on a few occasions, including last week against Auckland, where they eventually went down 3-0, but could have even taken the lead on a couple of occasions, as we're very close to kick-off here. And WbOp in the full white kit kick-off, Southern United in the all blue. And Chelsea Elliott there, key defender for WbOp, and immediately there's a flick on and WbOp on the attack, but Rose Morton does a good job of cutting that one out, and there's a bit of a press here from Wbop, who don't want to make it easy for Southern to play out, and Wbop immediately win the ball back, so encouraging start for them. But now Morrell looks to get a counter going down the left flank, the ball going out of play. Throw-in comes in, and Hislop, who's so good at holding the ball up, but loses out there with a few white shirts surrounding her, and Emma Court, who's been impressive in that sort of holding midfield role for Wbop, and was impressive last week and picked up a goal actually, slamming home after the ball came out from a corner. And Tony Power did well intercepting that ball there. It'll be interesting to see how much the wind impacts those longer balls, so might see both teams trying to play the ball along the deck where they can. And Wbop attacking down that right flank, and the number 12 shirt, Mania Elliott, trying to get on the end of it but can't quite do so, and Kelsey Kennard shields the ball out, so Blair Curry will get a goal. Power with the ball now, and Wbop, 21-year-old defender who's played every match for them this season. As we see again, Wbop putting a bit of pressure on Southern United there, not making it easy to play out from the back, and they've earned themselves a throw-in and an encouraging position here. It's going to be number 11, Shannon Trebes, who throws that in. And Emma Court, that's a zone that she operates in, and she's a bit disappointed that the teammate there wasn't quite on the same wavelength, but almost was able to create a chance still. But Power, who's been heavily involved early on, did well to get back and has even managed to make sure her team's got a goal kick there. So play restarts, and it's a short goal kick from Curry out to Kennard, and Southern look to play it out. Guildford down that left back roll, but again Wbop cut it out inside Southern's half and now look to pounce and attack. Power tries to find midfielder Whitaker, who comes across the field and does well. Good battle there though. Kelly Brown, the Wbop striker, laying it off, and Renee Bacon in the 7 shirt there for Southern, really strong in the challenge. Sammy Morrell full of energy as always, trying to cut out the intercept. She's the only goal scorer so far this season for Southern, with Hislop now laying it off, trying to find Morrell on that overlapping run but can't quite do so. Good tussle so far, looks like it could be an entertaining game, both teams pressing hard. So in this shortened season, Wbop had that sort of tricky start with the round 1 bye, almost, you know, sort of being a step behind other teams. Then had a 2-2 draw with Central before losing 2-4 to Canterbury Pride, and then an unlucky 1-0 loss to Capital. But so the ball comes in here, and goalkeeper Godbold there does a good job of claiming that. But yeah, just Wbop last week, that super impressive 2-1 win over Northern Lights, a goal either side of half time from Kelly Brown and Emma Court. There's a bit of a tussle there with Macy Fraser in the 11 shirt for Southern United losing out, and now Wbop look to counter, and the ball's sprayed over the top of the Southern defence by Kate Loy, experienced midfielder for Wbop, and Wbop win themselves a corner here early on. And it's the Wbop captain, Michaela Foster, who's going to swing in the corner. Like I mentioned earlier, Wbop did claim a goal resulting from a corner against Northern Lights last week, and swings the ball in here, but powerful header by Sammy Morrell, who's really good in the air for someone who's not one of the giants out on the pitch. But Wbop still looked to create something here, and Southern managed to clear it out wide. Wbop once again don't look to give Southern any easy options, and some really good tussles going on there in the middle of the park. And Fraser now looking to create something from deep. She just about created a couple of goals last week with a couple of really nice through balls and even a long range effort at goal as well, so she'll be desperate to make a mark today. Murahi lays it back to Chelsea Elliott, who now swings it out left. And Shannon Trebes, who left-footed effort, and it's actually on goal, but straight at Blair Curry, who had to be alert, but easily claimed. Fraser didn't quite get the touch she wanted there, and Foster's pounced and races towards the edge of the box. Just some Southern did enough there to make things difficult for her without quite conceding a foul, and they'll be relieved to see the ball cleared up towards halfway. Does that look dangerous there with Foster driving towards the box? Foster, a player with an incredible work rate, and one of those players who seems like has been around a long time, very experienced, but still only 21. She's played every minute so far of the season for Wbop. Whitaker mopping up in the middle of the park there for Southern, and ball comes up towards Hislop, and she's brilliant in these scenarios and does a great job there of getting the ball back for teammates. Now Power overlapping down the right. Unfortunately, Renee Bacon had gone to ground in an earlier challenge, so wasn't available, but Power does well. Lays it back now to Bacon, who's back up. Whitaker lays it off to Power. She takes on the defender there, and Emma Court, and tries to go around her, but really well done by Court, and it's a goal kick, so wonderful defending there. Court, just like Rose Morton, I guess, for Southern United, just playing in that midfield role, mopping things up, and such a crucial role in most formations these days, having a player like that to allow some of the other more creative midfielders a bit more licence. Once again, they come left looking for Trebes, and she has a couple of teammates, including Kelly Brown, who tried to get into that pocket there, but it was really, really good defending there by Hannah Mackay-Wright, who easily got in between the advancing striker Brown and the ball. A little bit of movement from Wbop here, and Kate Loy lays it back. Chelsea Elliott launches it forward, and Wbop, they've managed to get the cross in there, and Southern see the ball bounce in the box, which is always dangerous, and they scramble it clear. Bacon now on the ball. Wbop probably had the better of the possession and territory as well, with a lot of the football played in Southern United's half so far. And Wbop looking quite composed and confident. It's good to see from a team which struggled for results early in the season, but geez, the confidence that they would have got from that win last week, great to see. In a similar vein really, where Southern United haven't got the results so far this season and yet have been in every game, and Hislop a wee bit unlucky there to concede a foul just as she was looking to pounce. Chelsea Elliott just about got caught out there, but was fouled in the process. She launches it forward, and it's easily headed clear by Kennard. Emma caught with a good tussle there, but Hislop does well. Morel sprinting on that overlapping run down the left. Can she get a cross in? She can't quite find her good friend Bacon, and Wbop scramble it clear. Nicely done by Mackay Wright. Pouncing there now, Whitaker, nuggety midfielder, and a good tussle there with Kate Loy. Plenty of experience between those two. Whitaker happy to knock it back to her centre back in Mackay Wright, and it's spread left now to Kate Guildford. A few Dunedin Tech players involved in that move, and a club which has had such a successful, well, quite a few seasons now, and unbeaten for, I think it's well over 100 local Premiership matches now. Incredible run. Whitaker lays it back to Power. Wbop now, but a bit happier just to sit back and get into position. Not quite the same level of pressure on the southern defenders, but the ball's sprayed left out to Guildford. Wbop managed to keep the ball in there. Another good tussle there, Grace Wisniewski, 18-year-old who famously scored a couple of goals for New Zealand in the World Cup playoff, the third and fourth, where New Zealand picked up a bronze medal and against Canada, I think it was, in that match in Uruguay a couple of years back. Another super talented youngster. Murahi finds her captain and Foster, and Loy in a bit of space, and she finds the overlapping run from Trebs, but Tony Power does well to cut that one out, and Bacon calm on the ball, finds Hislop, who's always there. Again, just a wee bit isolated, but she sees an overlapping run. Can Guildford get on the end of it? Well picked out by Hislop, although there was just almost a wee bit much on it. Guildford keeps it in. Fraser now, edge of the box, swings it in, but into the hands of the goalkeeper, Riley Godbold. That was fairly easy to claim, but that was a bit more promising for Southern United, and they'll be wanting to see Fraser getting on the ball in those kind of positions. Kelly Brown, good tussle again with Brown. A little bit of shirt tugging going on. No foul given, so just a good honest battle going on there. Brown's goal last week against Northern Lights was sledgehammer really from the edge of the box. Smashed it in to give them the lead against Northern Lights. Of course, Kelly Brown certainly knows how to find the net. Famously scored 11 goals versus Samoa at the Oceania Under-19 champs last year, I think it was. And free kick awarded here in an encouraging position in the centre of the field for Southern United. So we see a decent crowd building up down here at Logan Park. A little bit of a breeze, but pleasant enough conditions. Sun shining, which is an improvement over the last home game actually, so almost feels like summer. See Fraser and Morton over this free kick. Quite a wee way out here, but might still be thinking about shooting. It's Fraser who lines it up and has an effort. Oh, and it's spilled by the keeper and it's put home. And Southern United take the lead, 1-0. It's only their second goal of the season, but brilliantly done. May have been Amy Hislop who pounced on that one there and slammed it home. So, looks great to see an early goal in this game. Fraser sent in that free kick from long range, and Godbold was able to easily prevent the free kick from going in, but could only block it out in front of her, and there were about 3 or 4 Southern players who were sniffing around like sharks in the water, and I think it was Hislop who poked it home. So that'll really get the Southern United tails up now. First time they've taken the lead in a match all season. certainly played some really positive football, so I don't think they'll change anything too much for now so early in the match. And likewise, I don't imagine that we're going to see Southern sit back and try and sit on that one goal. Kate Loy with Brown, with defender Handa Mackay-Wright dragged a long way forward there on the back of Brown, who came seeking the ball. So we might see a bit of movement like that just to try and create a bit of space for some of the other Wbop teammates. You see the likes of Wisniewski and that trying to take advantage of some of that space. That wind really picks up, and you'll have to excuse us, the gazebo is about to go flying here. He says with one hand on it. On the gazebo, that is. It really can get a bit of a wind tunnel effect here at Logan Park. Luckily I've got a lot of muscle helping out. So the last thing we want to see is a gazebo flying onto the pitch. Yeah. As Wbop once again push forward. You have to just excuse a wee bit of excitement we had there as we just about ended up on the pitch. As Wbop press forward again. And a wee chip over the top from Loy, but none of her teammates quite on the same wavelength, although might have been Wisniewski there who was racing in late, but Curry did well to claim it. Bacon with a clever wee flick on, and Hislop always available, but great challenge there from the Wbop defender. But Morel here, and maybe onside, and the flag hasn't gone up, and she just about got in, but that was great keeping there from Riley Godbold to claim that. And hopefully this wind isn't affecting the commentary too much, or at least too much more than my already croaky voices, as Wbop swing it out left. But I think we see here again Handa Mackay-Wright following Kelly Brown all the way deep into the Wbop half, and some really interesting battles going on already here. Bacon or Brown leaving her feet there, but deemed a fair enough challenge, and Brown trying to find a teammate there. I think it was Manai Elliott down the right flank, and Wbop now. Oh, this player goes down on the edge of the box. Curry comes out, the ball spilled and gone just wide. No free kick awarded either. Wow, it's all happening here, and Curry looks like she's taken a knock, bravely coming out there, and did enough to see the ball go wide of the goal. Let's hope she's okay. Certainly got a wonderful backup keeper on the bench, and Tessa Nicol, who started a couple of games herself this season, but let's hope that Curry's all right. She's back on her feet. It was brave goalkeeping. We saw Wbop's goalkeeper Godbold last week was incredibly brave with having to dive at the feet of the Northern players on a couple of occasions. It's, this league just gets more physical, more intense every year. Sammy Morel does well again, and look at the speed she's got, the acceleration as she takes on a player and finds Hislop. Hislop only has Bacon in the middle, but Hislop cuts back. Oh, but the offside flag had gone up on Hislop. Felt like that would have been a pretty tight one actually, but deemed offside, but encouraging again from Southern United. As I no longer have the protection of a gazebo over me, so I'm going to burn like a crisp in the hot southern sun. Hislop chests it down, looking for a teammate, lays it off. The ball goes out of play. So around sort of 20 minutes or so gone now. Southern United leading 1-0. Taking the lead for the first time in a game all season, just their second goal. It's Wbop now, playing the ball across the back, and they're certainly trying to use the full width of the pitch, especially down this left-hand side, but Tony Power, the Southern fullback, has been equal to the task any time the ball's been pushed out that way and she's been in a one-on-one situation. Once again, now they launch it down the middle, and wasn't too far away from Kate Loy, who had got a long way forward, but cleared by Southern, but the ball may be swung in here again, but it's going to be a goal kick. Hope you're enjoying this coverage of the 2020 ISPS Handa Women's Premiership, live from Logan Park in Dunedin. And remember that along with matches being live streamed, they're all available on demand on the skysportnext YouTube channel as well. Brilliant initiative from New Zealand Football and their partners this season to get every game available live, and of course you know, most of these games are free to air for anyone across the world, and it's great to see plenty of people from around the world have been tuning in to matches throughout the season so far. There's Foster again, tries to find trees. Power does a good job of cutting it out. Really great tussle she's having there, Power and Treves. Emma Court lays it back. Foster getting more heavily involved in the game and now spreads it out the right hand side, and the cross can't quite come in there. May have been Olivia Hooper, who's I think had 3 appearances so far this season for WaiBOP. And that wind has now disappeared, and it's beautiful conditions. Sun's out. Sure, we'll see plenty of substitutions in the second half. Another corner, and it's Foster again who's going to be swinging the ball in. The Wbop captain got a few of her tall teammates in there, and it's well cleared though. I think it was Mackay Wright. Wbop looked to get it in again, and it's swung in deep, and it's scrambled, and it's gone in, and it may have even been an own goal potentially. But Wbop don't care. They've scored an equaliser here at Logan Park. 1-1 now. Southern had an earlier Wbop corner that they didn't do a good job of clearing, and once again they couldn't get the ball cleared on that first opportunity, and they paid for it. So 1-1. I think they're bound to be more goals today as well. I think the way the game's going so far, and both teams hungry to pick up a win. Southern haven't had a win yet this season, and I'm sure they would have been targeting this as a game where they could pick up 3 points. WaiBOP still riding high from their brilliant victory over Northern Lights last week. Court mops up. Morel flicks it on for Southern. Foster back to goalkeeper Godbold, and she swings it across to Serena Mirahi. Out to Kate Loy. And unfortunately, ball goes out of play there. Southern look to take it quickly. Whitaker flicks it on, but Hislop can't quite get on the end of it. But now Fraser with a good touch, and brave defending there from Chelsea Elliott. Did well to cut that out, and now looks to start a counter, and her teammate gets in behind, and there's a clash and a free kick on the edge of the box. What's the referee going to do here? It's a yellow card for Kelsey Kennard, who looks over towards the assistant and feels like it was just a genuine coming together, but geez, that was a big chance there. I think it was Mania Elliott in the 12 shirt for WbOp, who had been sent clear by Chelsea Elliott, and was just about through on goal before tangling with Kennard. And wow, free kick right on the edge of the box, and it looks like Foster lining it up, and great place to have a free kick from. Southern look to get their wall organised. Blair Curry marshalling her defence. Foster is surely going to go for goal here. Drives it low. Fortunately for Curry, it was fairly tame. It was straight at the goalkeeper. Somehow made it past all the defenders, but yeah, Wbop will be a wee bit frustrated that they didn't create something a wee bit better from a free kick in such a good position. Southern now look to pounce again. Guildford down the left flank. Can't find her teammate, but wins a throw-in. Brave header there from the Wbop player, but Rose Morton in the two shirt, the Southern United captain, does well, but pounced on here by Wbop, and Kate Loy now decides to have a go from distance. It's not a bad effort, but easy enough again for Curry, who will probably be relieved because I think Loy initially wasn't looking to shoot. She was a long way out, but had clear air in front of her, so thought, why not have a go? So Curry did have to be alert. Bacon finds Fraser. She looks up. Such a good player on the ball. One of many players who's just as adept on the futsal court. Now Hislop lays it off to Power, and Hislop wants it back, and look at the turn there, and does so, and finds Whittaker. Is she onside? The flag hasn't gone up. Whittaker tries to cut it across, but great defending there. Great. It was Foster all the way back. And an important intervention, because that was looking really dangerous there with Southern United, with Whittaker trying to find her teammates in the 6-yard box. Really enjoying this match so far. It's been open. It's been in really good intensity to it, as Morel once again goes barrelling down the left flank, and it's well defended in a one-on-one situation. Court now finds Loy. Good tussle there with Morton, and Morton eventually wins it back, and Southern can't quite find striker Hislop, and Wbop once again now look to attack with Brown deep. Does have a few players in front of her, and actually takes on Guildford and goes round her with ease. That's impressive from Brown, and swings it in, but was it a shot, was it a cross? Well, whatever it was easy for Curry and goals. Morton with a bit of time on the ball as it comes to her, and finds Power again. Power looks up and does well there to find the feet of Bacon, and Fraser now flicking it over to Bacon in the advancing run. Tries to swing it in. She wins Southern United a corner here. So Southern will be so disappointed to have conceded a bit of a messy goal so soon after taking the lead, but with close to half an hour played here at Logan Park, 1-1 between Southern United in the blue and Wbop in the white. Bacon is going to swing in the corner. Loops it in towards the far post, and wow, Guildford was racing in, but it was well cleared by Wbop. Fraser, though, with a long-range effort, Godbold again can only block it, and that's similar to when we saw Southern's goal, but on this occasion, Godbold was fortunate that she had a teammate to mop up and clear the scraps. Great to see Fraser getting heavily involved in attack for Southern. Big challenge there from Kennard, who did pick up a yellow card for that challenge on the edge of the box before, so has to be a wee bit careful now. Treves, well cut out. Bacon has found Hislop, and Hislop a little bit of time in a one-on-one, and she'll certainly have a go at taking on her opponent here. It does, and left foot just can't get enough power on it. Once again spilled by Godbold, and Whittaker takes advantage, puts it home. The referee wants to check with the linesman, I think just wants to check that there wasn't a foul on the keeper, and Well, from what I saw, it was spilled. It was a pretty fair challenge, and going for the ball, felt like it was a live ball situation. Whittaker did well, but I don't know if this is going to go the way of Southern United here. What's the referee decided? A free kick. Wow. So Wbop, I think they get out of jail a bit there. I was mentioning before that we've got a couple of goalkeepers here, and of course all the players across the park. There's a real intensity and physicality to the league these days, and that just seemed like a really good tussle. So disappointing for Whittaker. Can Wbop make them feel even more punished? Well, no, the offside flag goes up with Brown, but the shot was wide of goal anyway. Well, I've had a bit of everything here in the opening half hour or so from Logan Park. Yeah, and we've just had a supporter make the comment around there's no VAR here, and he's spot on, but because it would have been an interesting one if we had been able to have a really close look at that. Wow, I have to say that there weren't huge complaints from Wbop at the time when the ball went into the net. So, but credit to the referee, Caleb Marsh. He didn't rush into any decision. He took his time, had a chat to his linesman, and before making the decision. So full credit in that respect. Loy lays it back to court. And Loy again plays with such composure in the middle of the park. Certainly one of the older heads on the park. A former New Zealand rep herself. I think it's always great to see with a lot of these teams that, along with so much fantastic young talent coming through and pushing through those New Zealand age group sides, and that it's great to see the likes of Loy. The last match we had here from Dunedin, we had the likes of Liz Savage and that as well, who just put on an absolute clinic, and I think it's always great for the younger players coming through to be able to play alongside players with that kind of experience. As Fraser loses out there in the middle of the park, and fortunately her captain Morton mops up. Power now finds Bacon. There's a lot of passes between those two down the right-hand flank for Southern. Court does well to deny Hislop from reaching that ball, and Loy looks up and tried to play a clever wee through ball there. Couldn't quite find her teammate Manai Elliott. Wbop with players forward, and Brown goes from long range. Well, Curry did have to move across to that one, but it was a comfortable enough save. Bacon flicks it in. Hislop dropping deep, back to goal, but so good on the turn. And look at that, she just creates so much space and plays it through. And she was trying to find Whittaker, and I think she was onside there too, because there was a Wbop defender over on the right-hand side, Kate McConnell, who had kept Whittaker onside. So those are the kind of chances that Hislop, who's such a dangerous goal scorer, but just also so good with that kind of link-up play, and when you've got midfielders like Whittaker who will run all day and try and get into those attacking goal-scoring chances. In fact, I think Whittaker it was who had a good chance last week that pulled out a brilliant save from the Auckland keeper, as Hislop again lays it off looking for Morel but can't quite find her. So wind just picks up again a little bit here, and there's a Southern United player down. It may be defender Kelsey Kennard all the way back towards her own goal box. Let's hope she's okay. But it's just a good chance here actually for all the players to take a bit of a breath, because there's been plenty happening and not too many stoppages really in the opening 35 minutes or so of this match. So you can see a few of the players now going for the drink bottles. There's playing in, well, you could just about say extreme heat for Dunedin. Might be pushing 20 degrees maybe. Kennard still down on the ground here, so let's hope she can get back up. I was mentioning before about experienced players, and she's certainly one of the more experienced ones in the Southern squad. Again, still only 25, I believe, but feels like she's been around the National League setup, and of course Dunedin Tech for forever. Such a key part of that Dunedin Tech defence. Big part of the squad which won the Kate Shepherd Cup just a couple of years back. Kelsey Kennard actually missed the first couple of games, I think it was, this season before coming in for their most recent couple of matches. It's formed a good partnership alongside Hannah Mackay-Wright. Kennard is still off the pitch as the game is going to get back underway. Southern United Fraser lays it back. It cleared out, and Wbop through Brown will once again look to attack, but look at that from Rose Morton, so strong in the challenge. Another New Zealand age group player, part of that Dunedin Tech squad, and captaining the Southern United team. Just makes things look so easy sometimes in that defensive midfield kind of role. Godbold is Wbop. Look to play it out from the back, and well intercept there from Power, though a bit of a heavy touch, and the ball bounces here for Bacon down the right flank, and she looked swinging across, and few players can swing across better than Renee Bacon, but that was well blocked. Might have been Kate Loy coming across there. Bacon also has a bit of a weapon of a long throw when required. Fraser laid it off to Whitaker, who's lining up a shot, and now Guildford lines it up, and Morrell dives in. Well, just wouldn't quite fall for a decent shooting opportunity for the Southern players there, but creating plenty around the Wbop penalty area. Is Southern no doubt hungry to get another goal and reclaim the lead before we get to the half-time break. Foster, composed but well cut out there by Fraser. That's a great battle between two super talented players in the middle of the park. And here's another one, Kate Loy and Wbop looking to attack Mania Elliott, but loses out. Morton again does the job, and Fraser, well, they're looking for that through ball, and Hislop just about could get onto that. Godbold is just happy to send the ball clear as the wind once again picks up. I'm hoping that it's not affecting the microphone too much. Apologies if it is, but we're fairly exposed on the sideline down here at Logan Park. So fortunately the rain's staying away. I think there was a fair bit of rain for Southern United's match last weekend up in Auckland, and played a bit of havoc for the camera person up there. There were more screen wipes than Star Wars, but Southern looking to attack here again. Wbop, Kate Loy has Morton on her back, so gets forced back, and once again. We see this battle, and Powell once again anticipates really well, cuts it out. Only has Hislop in front of her, and unfortunately couldn't find her. But gee, Powell's well, having a power of a game down the right fullback channel there for Southern United in both attack and defence. Probably one of the more unheralded players, I guess, perhaps in the squad, but has really been one of the standouts this season. And Hislop never make it easy for an opponent, and clever defending in the end from Murahi with Hislop on her back. So it's a goal kick for Wbop, taken quickly and short. As Southern sort of look to put a bit of a press on here. Game is opening up a bit. I think we're going to see it open up a lot more in the second half too, especially if it stays all tied up. Fraser again showing those futsal skills with the turn. A player like her must love playing on a quality surface like this, and I know that a lot of artificial surfaces around the country cop a wee bit of flack for being awkward and bouncy and inconsistent, but let me tell you, this is probably as good an artificial surface as you'll see anywhere. And it does lend itself to great quality football, a much needed home of football for Dunedin. Because I tell you what, if it's windy here at the moment, it'll be howling a gale out at Tahuna Park. And as Bacon looks to find Whittaker, who's getting into more and more advanced positions, which I think Southern need, because probably one thing that we have seen this season so far is the strikers, whether it's Hislop or Emily Morrison, who have shared a bit of game time up top, but just often just being a little bit isolated in attack. So the more that the likes of Fraser and Whittaker and then the wide players in Morale and Bacon can link up, that's where Southern will create their chances. But Foster now, the ball sat for her there and she hammered a shot, but just snatched it a bit and it went well over the goals. So we're sort of winding down towards half time here at Logan Park. 1-1 between the home team Southern United and the visitors Wbop. Really entertaining half of football so far. Emma Court plays it back, and might be Chelsea Elliott there, I think, who swings it across to her defensive colleague there. And Morton once again anticipated well, cut it out, and Bacon's got a lot of space in front of her. Unfortunately for her, the ball just was just drifting a wee bit away from her the whole time. But look, it was great defending. It might have been Murahi there for Wbop, who made it look quite comfortable really in cutting it out. But I'll tell you what, if you got Renee Bacon chasing you down, it's never comfortable. Chelsea Elliott and Hislop trying to make things difficult there. It looked like the Wbop defender was a wee bit frustrated that she didn't have many options from her teammates there, but the ball has found its way forward, and Loy trying to find her attackers. The ball's swung in there by Trebes, and Kelly Brown, great tussle there again with Kennard. Oh, and yeah, free kick. Wow. Got to give a bit of credit there to the Wbop attacker, and I think it was Mania Elliott, because she did get caught there. She didn't go to ground though. She tried to stay on her feet, but it was clearly impeded. So once again, they get another free kick in a really dangerous position just outside the box, and we're really in the dying moments leading into the half-time break. This would be a wonderful time for them scoring. Like I said last week in their 2-1 win over Northern Lights, each of their goals were just moments either side of half-time. Free kick rammed in by Chelsea Elliott, but can't get on goal. Jeez, Kelly Brown was caught there, and once again, to her credit, Brown stayed on her feet even though there was a bit of a tussle, and there were some claims from her teammates that that's a foul, and in the box could have potentially been a penalty, but once again, credit to the referee for playing on there and being fairly good first half in that respect. There haven't been too many fouls or anything too untoward. Just a good battle between two really competitive teams. Southern, can they create another chance before the break? They look to, and Hislop will get on the end of this, but great battle there. Although Hislop, surely that's free kick there, and there's some howls from the sideline, but I think Hislop did have her arm up around the shoulder of the Wbop defender there. Great tussle again. As this first half from Logan Park winds down. Final home match of the season for Southern United. Only one match remaining as they travel away to face Central next weekend. Foster, she's been a standout today so far for Wbop. Clever turn on the ball there. May have been Mania Elliott over on that far side. She's been quite heavily involved. The ball comes back, and Bacon looking to pounce here, and will the ball get played back to the keeper? It does, and fortunately for her there were no other Southern players putting pressure on, but Fraser now lines up a shot from a long way out. She saw that Godbold had come a fair way out of her box. Unfortunately for Fraser, just couldn't get the elevation required to test out Godbold there. Semi Morel does well and finds Hislop here and onside, but Wbop do enough to scramble it. Kelly Brown's looked dangerous when she has been on the ball, but probably hasn't been involved quite as much and seen as much of the ball as she would have liked. Especially often she's had to drop very deep, even into her own half. So Southern have done a pretty good job of shutting her down, but here's Foster again, and teammates in a bit of space outright, but really disappointing ball from Emma Court there. Hislop was in an offside position when the ball first came through there, so that might just about do it for this first half. Wbop look to have one last crack at goal here. There was a stoppage for a couple of minutes with when Kennard went down injured, so could still be a little bit of time here. Hislop once again trying to chase without much hope of getting onto the ball there, and there we do see referee Caleb Marsh blow the half-time whistle. Half-time here at Logan Park. 1-1 between Southern United and Wbop. Southern United took that early lead when Fraser swung in a free kick. It wasn't cleared by the Wbop goalkeeper in defence, and I think it was Amy Hislop who scrambled it home to give them the lead, but the lead only lasted a few minutes before Wbop managed to scramble one in, and I'm just trying to remember, I think we might have thought it might have even been an own goal, but we'll try and check on that. But anyway, it's been a really entertaining first half of football here. Make sure you stick around. We'll be taking a break, but stick around, grab yourself a cuppa or something and join us for the second half, because I'm really looking forward to what should be a really entertaining second half. Both teams will be pushing really hard for the win. So we'll see you soon. Welcome back to Logan Park for the second half of this ISPS Handa Women's Premiership match between Southern United, the home team in all blue, up against the visitors Wbop from the North Island in the all-white kit today. 1-1 in that first half, and really entertaining half. Southern took the lead with Amy Hislop scrambling the ball into the net, but they only had the lead for a few minutes before Wbop equalised. Southern also had a goal disallowed when Chelsea Whittaker poked it home, but it was deemed to have had a bit of a foul on the Wbop keeper, and I have a feeling the keeper, Riley Godbold, might have been quite relieved that the call went her way there. But it was an entertaining first half of football. I think this might be even better because both teams really desperate for a win. My name's Morgan Jarvis, I'm commentating today, and thanks again for joining us. So good to be part of bringing coverage of the National League to you, and just so good to have every match of men's and women's National Leagues broadcast live as Southern get the second half underway, and Fraser immediately tries to find left winger Sammy Morrell, but it's cut out by Wbop. I'll try there a factor in that. That looks to be the only change so far for the home team, Southern. I'll try and figure out whether we've seen any changes for Wbop. I think there's been at least one, because I do see the number 14, Sarah Carpenter, coming on as the offside flag goes up there with Hislop trying to race clear. So it looks like, yeah, number 14, Sarah Carpenter, who I'm not sure whether she's had a minute of National League football yet so far this season. So if that's the case, then it's great for her to get a full half of footy under her belt here in Dunedin. Match week 6 of the ISPS Handa Women's Premiership. Just one round of regular season remaining before the top two teams head to a grand final, as Whittaker just loses her footing but still manages to find Morton getting forward, and it's not very often that you see Rose Morton get that far forward, so that might show Southern's intent, and the ball swung in, but no threat for Godbold and goals there. Maybe Mania Elliott, who may have made way for Sarah Carpenter for Wbop. I'll try and confirm that at some point. I think there might also be number 16 on for Wbop over on the left hand side as well, and that'd be Maddie Ollington, and she was super impressive for them last week down that left flank. It was both in attack and defence. She was often overlapping down the flank, so she could be a big threat for Wbop in this half, as the Southern substitute room tries to find a teammate but can't do. Kelly Brown is almost getting in behind the Southern defence here, and Hannah Mackay-Wright does a great job, and not only does she cut the ball out, but she stops it from going for a corner as well. Nicely done. And Morton, Morrell, look at this, trying to play it out from the back, and they do well. The ball stayed in there despite Wbop's protests. That's my little bugbear, players not knowing the rule of when the ball goes out of play, but anyway. It was some nice football in tight spaces from Southern United there. And now Kate Loy for Wbop in a lot of space. You don't want to give her that much space. Unfortunately, Room does a good job of shutting down Kelly Brown. Already there's a good intensity at the start of this half as both teams try and press forward and attack, and Ball just about made its way through to Hislop. Kelly Brown back to goal, lays it off to Loy. Comes across now for Foster, who was excellent in that first half. And Loy getting all across the pitch and finds Foster, and this is nicely constructed by WbOp, but now caught, lays it off to Foster. Nicely cut out by Mackay Wright though, denying Kelly Brown. It's just been a great battle so far in this match between two very talented players that have been stars at New Zealand rep level as well. Morton does well there to out-hustle Kate Loy. Hislop back to goal. Turns, doesn't quite have her teammates making the run that she wanted there though. Court spreads it across to Elliott, who looks up, takes her time. There's a wee bit of pressure there from Fraser. And Guildford having good tussle with Foster, but Foster wins that one. And yeah, nicely done by Grace Wisniewski, who probably didn't see as much of her in the first half as I expected, but I'm sure she'll crop up and will be a dangerous threat for WbOp in the second half. Curry, nice composure, just confident to stroke it out to Morton, but now it's intercepted by WbOp. That's a good play by the substitute, Ollington. Can't have anyone quote me on this, but I'm thinking that Ollington might have come on for the 11, Shannon Treebs, who was heavily involved down the left flank herself in the first half, especially in the early stages of the match, and we saw some really good tussles with the Southern fullback, Tony Powers. Hislop here beats off the defender, and she's one-on-one with Elliott, tries to take her on. Ball just didn't quite fall at her feet, and WbOp happy to scramble it clear for what's going to be either a throw-in or a corner down there. Wow, Hislop getting into that kind of space is such a threat, but just couldn't quite get a side at goal, and so it is a corner. It's going to be Renee Bacon to swing it in. That wind picks up again, and that could make this interesting. It could be pulling the ball away from Godbold if it comes in towards her, and it does, but she does a great job of claiming it. Looked really confident there. Nicely done by the WbOp goalkeeper, who was superb last week. Kelly Brown again dropping well into her own half and muscled off it there by Whittaker, who also had Morton and Fraser buzzing around as well, and Tony Power down that right flank. And still on the ball, and did well to get out of a tight spot with a couple of defenders on her there, and Southern looked to create something now. It's Fraser, swings it in. Morell's not too far away, but it's just a little bit too close to the keeper, and Godbold claimed that one easily. Encouraging signs though for Southern. Guildford does brilliantly there and cutting that one out as Sarah Carpenter just caught napping for only a split second, but it was enough for Guildford to take advantage, and Southern are going to get another corner here as Morell was beaten to the ball there, but Southern looking to pile on the pressure early in the second half. The wind probably about the strongest it's been all day so far, so once again hope it's not impacting the broadcast too much. It's not impacting the football too much, as we've had a really good game of football. The corner comes in, and the tall timber for Southern, and Mackay Wright and Hislop weren't too far away from that, but it's sent clear. Fraser on the ball again, finds Morell, clever turn. Great battle going on there. Wbop did well to not concede a free kick and get the ball clear. They don't have too many options forward though, so Power has plenty of time on the ball and is happy to lay it across to her central defender, Mackay Wright. We saw Wbop pressing quite heavily early on in the match, and not seeing quite the same amount right at the moment, but both teams will be wanting to conserve a wee bit of energy too, because it was a pretty helter-skelter first half. As Morton does well, finds Fraser, and Hislop will get on to the end of this, and she's one-on-one with the keeper. Godbold comes out, can't get to the ball. Hislop goes down and she's wide. Composure, and she slots it home. Amy Hislop, great composure. That's her second. Gives Southern United the lead for the second time in this match, 2-1. Godbold, as brave a keeper as any in this league, and she came racing out to the feet of Hislop, but Hislop, what composure. She danced her way around Godbold, then found herself in a very wide position and just did well. Took her time, looked up, took a couple of touches to open up a shot for herself and just made it look easy. We've seen her do that so many times, particularly in the Kingsgate Southern Women's Premier League, and of course has scored plenty of goals over the last couple of seasons for Southern as well. But I think she's really playing with a wee bit of confidence now. It's been obviously a bit of a frustrating season, particularly for the attacking players for Southern. The team who had only scored one goal before today's match, but great that Southern and Amy have now scored a couple in this match. They'll be wanting to make sure that they don't concede on the back of that like they did in the first half. So 2-1 now to Southern United over Wbop. Southern looking for their first win of the season. And as I mentioned in the first half, I'm sure that rather than want to sit on their lead, just each of these goals just gives the team a wee bit more confidence, and they'll be looking to press on and score more goals. And I'm sure we'll see some interesting substitutions as well, as Hislop gets on the ball but is very wide out here and keeps it in. She swings in. Good, very talented player off both feet. Swung that one in with her left, and Wbop though through Loy looked to clear. She's only got Brown in front of her, and Mackay Wright, who's just been on Brown's back all day and did well to cut that one out. I think Kelly Brown will be in last week's game against Northern Lights, that she created a little bit of space for herself and scored a fantastic goal. So I'm sure that will have been clearly an instruction for Hannah Mackay Wright, just stay close to Kelly Brown all day, and that's what she's done, and often followed her all the way back into Wbop's own half. Bit of time now for Elliott, and tries to launch it forward, but it was well cut out. Bacon now driving forward and has Hislop in front of her, and Godbold does well, so brave again, raced out and easily claimed it. Emma Court, the number 7 for Wbop, once again on the ball now. Just plays with such a nice composure. She knocks it around the park. But one thing that Wbop will no doubt be aware of is that Southern have been very competitive in all their matches so far this season, but have tended to fade later in matches. And I think of the goals that Southern have conceded this season, 4 or 5 have been in the first half of matches, and I think would be looking at about 10 second half goals, and many of them have actually been quite late in games as well. So Wbop they've got plenty of time here still in this match to get back into this. As the ball bounces clear here for Hislop, and had Bacon with her, but the best they'll get there is another corner. But we will see Mackay right, and Amy Hislop advance forward and try and create something here for Southern, currently leading 2-1 over Wbop. Bacon swings in the corner, and wow, that was pretty close there. Mackay Wright won the initial flick on, and Whittaker, it was a bit awkward, but had a chance, but couldn't quite get it on target there. It was good pressure, but Wbop did a good job of clearing. As Whittaker, look at the dribbling there, and still trying to stay on the ball, but eventually beaten out to it by Foster. Whittaker will never give up on it. So that was another chance for Southern United. It's great to see that they're creating a few chances in this match. That, as I mentioned earlier, with despite having lost their opening 4 matches, they have created chances in those matches, and both the matches against, in fact, I think all of the matches that they've played throughout the season, they've had really good chances to open the scoring in those matches. Just haven't quite been able to take advantage. As now we see Fraser one-on-one, dribbles wide and powers in a shot, but it goes well over goal. But that's great to see Fraser playing with that kind of confidence, taking on the defender. I mentioned in the first half those sort of futsal style skills, and just the confidence that playing on a turf like this gives players, and being able to play with a bit of confidence, look up and take players on. Carpenter, the substitute, knocks it back, and Foster finds Loy, and yeah, she puts a clever ball over the top, and here is Wisniewski in a bit of space. Brilliant defending by the Southern captain, Rose Morton, to clean up, and she's just one of those players who just never even looks like she's running at full speed, but mops up as Fraser tries to find Bacon on the overlapping run, but it's well cut out by Ollington. As once again we have the wind picking up. Fraser, great tussle there, and got a shot in, but well clear of goal. But again, just that confidence that we're starting to see. I have a feeling that Southern United will just feel like the season's a wee bit short as it draws to an end, and they're growing in confidence. Morale now pouncing, and great battle with Foster. Elliott does well to clear that one out, and Loy, heavy touch there, and Guildford looks to take advantage, and that's nice. She finds Hislop with the back to goal, tries to flick it back into Guildford with the overlapping, even with a slender 2-1 lead, but you've got Guildford there, the fullback, happy to push on and try and create a goal scoring chance. Elliott a bit frustrated there again that she didn't have any easy options for a pass, and I'll just get a nice wee touch on the ball here. Oops, and I've made the mistake of kicking it on the pitch. Commentator needs a slap. That's what happens when I try and multitask. As Guildford gets the throw in, and she'll get another chance at it now too. Fraser, clever flick on to Morel, but she can't find a teammate. Loy, big challenge coming in there. And Morton's really frustrated there that a free kick's been awarded against her. She did leave her feet, but it certainly wasn't a dangerous challenge, and going for the ball, and looked like she had won it cleanly. But referee Caleb Marsh has been consistent throughout the match, so Can't really be too many complaints. Mackay Wright deals to the free kick with a header, and Bacon on that right flank for Southern. Early ball long for Hislop, and oh, it could have been dangerous. It was well cut out by Murahi, as we see the Southern captain Rose Morton pick up a yellow card, and that's clearly for protesting the free kick just a minute ago. Such a good competitive player, Rose Morton, and disappointing to go into the referee's book, but it shows the desire, I guess. But gee, that was just about a big chance for Southern, and Murahi did a great job of cutting it out actually, but Bacon had almost put Hislop into the clear, and here we see Hislop again deep, but turning on a dime, but loses out now, and Kelly Brown, she's a bit isolated, but now has a teammate in Carpenter overlapping, and Brown tries to find her. Carpenter might have made the mistake there of just going a bit too central, and has been pushed wide now, and Guildford does a good job of dealing to it. Once again, seeing a bit of frustration from Brown and the Wbop players that just not quite gelling in the second half the same way that they were in the first. But Brown now in a bit of space, about the most space she's seen all day, but disappointing touch just when she had a chance to turn and line up a shot at goal. Power in a bit of space, and sees Bacon overlapping, and Bacon's in plenty of space, and here's Hislop and Whittaker in front of her. Bacon swings it in. It's another one of those ones. Was it a shot? Was it a cross? And amounts to nothing. We'll see a substitution here for Southern United, and Emily Morrison is coming on, and it's Sammy Morrell, the winger, coming off, which is an interesting substitution. And Morrison and Hislop tend to share the minutes up front in the striker's position. It looks like Morrison is coming out to that left flank role that Morrell has done such a good job in. And Sammy Morrell definitely put in a fantastic shift today. Another player who starred at international level, and as we see Brown now in a bit of space, but again quite deep, and has to look back, and it does fall for Foster, who sprays it out wide, and the cross comes in, but Room is a bit of an awkward height, that one, but made it look easy. It's a wee bit aimless, though, not on the same wavelength as her Southern United and Dunedin Tech club mate in Emily Morrison in the 8 shirt, who's just come on for Southern. Morrison, who has had quite a bit of game time, is again so experienced at this level. Starred in the National League for a number of seasons for Southern and for Capital before that, and she'll probably be a wee bit jealous of seeing her striking teammate Amy Hislop having scored a couple, so I'm sure that Morrison will be hungry to get on the score sheet as well. There's Kelly Brown. It's getting more heavily involved, but just in positions which aren't directly threatening, and we really haven't seen Curry have to do too much in goals so far today, and here she is getting a rare touch on the ball, but easily claimed. I think Wbop will be a bit disappointed that they just haven't really been able to create many chances on goal so far today. Brown as well turns, but again has to look back, finds Foster, who drills a long range effort. Once again, it's straight at Curry. Most of the shots that they've had today have been from long range and have been pretty comfortable for Curry to deal with, and just about caught on the ball, but good composure. And Ruman now Guildford, and now Morrison. Look at the confidence playing out from the back by Southern. That's great to see. And good pressure here from Wbop as well, and they're not making it easy. And gee, Morton had to do it. Now, Mackay Wright, well, I'm sure that the Southern coaching staff will love to see the confidence of playing out from the back, but they just got to be a wee bit more alert than they were there and just about caught out. And even then, Mackay Wright, it's a clearing header when Curry was coming out for the ball. So just a little bit rattled and maybe just lacking a wee bit of concentration there. But that should be the wake-up call if they needed one, because Southern United still only lead by 1 goal here over WbOP. And WbOP have always looked dangerous from set pieces, and Foster swings in a dangerous corner. So it will be the WbOP captain again who will swing this one in, and that wind is still swirling around a bit, so any set piece situation like this is going to be difficult to deal with. Foster swings in. It's a great corner, but well cleared by Mackay Wright, I think it was. It makes its way back to Foster, who loops up a high one. Kelly Brown, he's on the end of it. Oh, well, the flag's gone up. I'm guessing it was for offside there on Brown. Once again, Southern will just be pleased to deal with that. Power finds Hislop on the halfway line, who's back to goal but can't find a teammate. And Brown now has Carpenter again just made that central run, and there was just no one for WbOP in the wide channel, so it didn't leave Kelly Brown many options. Southern were able to deal with it, and dangerous ball straight down the middle, and the ball almost falls for the substitute Carpenter there. Foster is up there in the box, turns and gets a left foot shot in, but no power. But WbOP looking as dangerous as ever in the last few minutes. Southern have just sort of been pinned back in their own half. Wouldn't be surprised if we see a few more substitutions in the coming minutes. Is nicely done by Fraser, and she finds Hislop. She's out wide, only got Morrison up in front of her, but Hislop has that confidence of a couple of goals. Turns, gets a left foot shot, but well blocked. Jeez, Hislop looking for a hat-trick. It's Morton. Mackay Wright. Look to swing it left. Guildford's in a bit of space, but Morton just buzzing around that centre circle. Now Whitaker finds Hislop. Just a bit of a heavy touch. And Kate Lloyd drives forward now, and they've got a wee bit of space, and Grace Wisniewski here is deep, and unfortunately can only lay it back. And again, just a wee bit of frustration in the team there. Just almost just get the impression that they're just not quite giving their teammates sort of passing opportunities that they're wanting to create more chances in attack. And we are going to see a substitution here for the visitors WbOP, and it's going to be the number 15 Kate McConnell, 18-year-old who comes off, and maybe Caitlin Byrne, a 17-year-old defender who's I think she's appeared in every match so far this season for WbOP, so she makes her way on in the 17 shirt at the back for WbOP. So you might not see too much change in formation or anything with that change, but yeah, trying to play it out. Southern not pressuring too much, but they'll be looking to pounce on any counter-attacking chances, and Fraser with a clever turn swings it across to Whitaker, who's trying to flick it on with the head to Morrison, but WbOP had enough players back there that was never really threatening. Elliott chips it out to Loy, who chips it out herself to Murahi. But can't find Carpenter, who that time had stuck to the sideline, but couldn't be found. And Whitaker and Hislop combining again, and now Morton sprays it out wide to Bacon, who has to go racing back and has power with her, who will make that overlapping run now. Bacon instead takes on a player but loses out eventually, and Foster getting pretty heavily contested in the middle of the park. Just some quality players in the midfield of both squads, and just actually can't believe how much talent there is in every team in the league this year. And I look at the Southern squad and think, geez, there's a heck of a lot of talent, and Wbop very much the same, and yet they're not going to be competing for grand final spots. Even a team like Northern Lights, after their loss last week, will be doing well to be competing for that grand final spot, I think. So great to see the league probably more competitive than I've ever seen it, to be honest. Lloyd just maybe looking a wee bit tired there, wasn't the touch she was after, and Hislop back to goal, looks up and finds Morrison in a bit of space. Awkward touch, but she does well, on the edge of the box, takes on the defender, but great defending. Chelsea Elliott, she's such a strong defender, and she just made that look easy. It's going to be another corner for Southern United, and Bacon once again, who will be swinging it in. Southern looking to get a 2-goal advantage. It's swung in, and it's not a bad one, but good clearance by Wbop. Fraser will line up a shot from distance, and love that confidence again, but well clear of goal. But don't mind a player having a go from that kind of range. She certainly scored some worldies over the years. For obviously she's been a key part of the Canterbury United Pride squad over the last couple of seasons. Won the National League with them, and been interesting this year with Macy Fraser choosing to be part of the Ole Football Academy up in Wellington, with some of the most talented young male players in the country, and help take her game to a new level. And you know, what a coup to get her down here for Southern United. And here she is again, and looks up, and nice ball to Hislop, who tried to lay it off for the 1-2. Morton, thought she was going to find Bacon with an easy ball, but it was just well cut out. And Kate Loy now. Elliott driving forward. You don't see her get across the halfway line too many times. She's always likes to look up and try and find those direct balls, and just couldn't find a teammate on that occasion. We're in the final quarter or so of the match here at Logan Park, and Wbop pouncing. Carpenter making a nuisance of herself, but Southern just about get away with that one. Now they look to attack with power down that right hand flank, and Hislop can't quite get onto the end of that, as once again the wind picks up. In case you missed it in the first half, we lost our gazebo, just about flew onto the pitch. Has clouded over a wee bit after we had some nice sunshine here earlier on. It's still fairly warm though. Don't think it's going to rain. Morton. Whitaker was in a dangerous spot there, but couldn't flick it onto a teammate. And Wbop, now they have a bit of intensity with numbers forward and different options, and Foster finds one of them, and Wisniewski, and she skips around Talia Room and has players in front of her. Will she ever go at goal? She tries to find the feet of Brown. It was a wee bit ambitious probably, but a little bit more encouraging for Wbop. And Morrison, good turn, and Hislop is onside. No, the flag's gone up. Well, That was a pretty close call, I think. Not quite on the right line, but Hislop had looked up and looked across the line and tried to hold her run. Could have been clear through. Nice play between her and Morrison there. Wbop seem to be getting more and more into the game, and Foster's at the heart of everything and almost linked with Elliott there, but Southern again through Morrison, who skips past Carpenter. Chelsea Elliott leaves it for her teammate in Murahi, and Wisniewski getting more and more involved, and here she is again. Is she going to have a shot? She just hasn't had much of a sniff at goal, but Murahi loops it in, but it's well over the goal there, to the relief of Blair Curry and goals for Southern. I think we're about to see a substitution here for Southern United. As we see the Southern coach, Ignacio Sande, dealing out some instructions, and so it's a two-goal hero, Amy Hislop, who's making way. Won't be getting her hat-trick today, unfortunately for her, and I think it might be number 19, Erin Roxburgh, who is coming on. And another substitution in Chelsea Whitaker, who's been superb and very busy in the midfield today, making way. And I think Lena Durand in the 6 shirt coming on there. She's quite a regular starter for Southern, so it's good to have a good experienced player as Guildford loops it over to Morrison, who looks up, sees a bit of space and takes on a player, will cut inside onto her right foot, drives in a great shot. It was easily dealt with in the end by Godbold, but her view of it was almost blocked by defenders, so she did well to pick that up. But that's what we will see from Morrison cutting in, is now we see Carpenter go clear for Wbop and gets a low cross in, but had no teammates. Wisniewski and Brown were both just arriving a little bit too late. Carpenter couldn't get her head up and just hold her cross, so it was easy again for Curry. A little bit surprised at the moment. I thought with Hislop going off that would see Morrison slot into her central striking role, but for the moment she's still over on this left-hand side, and it actually looks like Renee Bacon who's playing in that central striker's role, with Erin Roxburgh on that right flank role. I'm sure Renee Bacon has certainly scored plenty of goals over the seasons at National League level, and if she gets the last 20 minutes or so of this match in that striker's role, she'll be really hungry to try and get on the score sheet. As the substitute, Roxburgh now battles away. Nicely done though by Maddie Ollington, the substitute for Wbop on that left-hand flank. Foster has certainly been outstanding for Wbop. Loy is always heavily involved, tries to turn on the ball, almost got caught out for a touch too many, and all the way back to Godbold. Elliott looks up, does well to find Carpenter with a nice touch there, although just a little bit short for a teammate, and the substitute Durand pounced for fresh legs, and Morton, can she spark something as Southern try to get players forward, and Durand does well, and Bacon, it's a nice turn, but Elliott so often in the right position and does well there, and before being bundled over by the boisterous Bacon. But Elliott, to her credit, straight back to her feet. She's been commanding, and here we go though with Bacon, and here she is, the long range effort. Wow, easy enough in the end for Godbold, but Bacon just didn't quite get the power she's more than capable of getting.
I'm just going to wait for the ball to go out and ask Logan.
Here's Elliott again. And Guildford, Morrison finds Guildford, pushes on down that left-hand flank. Ball doesn't go out. There we go, my little bugbear again. Well done, linesman. Morton battling away with Loy. Might have heard a whisper that the game clock that I'm looking at on the screen might not quite line up with where we're at in the match, so apologies if I haven't quite got that right. Yeah, there might be a glitch with the board, so there might be a bit less time to go than I had thought. You may be able to see on your stream with a bit of luck the accurate time. I'm not. I don't have the benefit of watching this match through a screen. I'm just standing on the sideline calling as I see it. So as Morrison swings it across and finds Roxburgh at the far post, what can she do? Loy doesn't make it easy, and it will be a corner though for Southern United.
Yeah, we've played 40, he said.
So about 5 minutes to go, I believe. So yeah, so apologies if some of my comments from the based on the time throughout this half haven't quite lined up with where they should be, but maybe not too far away. But anyway, corner comes in. Southern lead 2-1. Roxburgh, I think it is, had the ball drop at her feet and looking to do the spectacular with a dipping volley, but well over the bar. So not too long to go in this match. Southern United leading Wbop 2-1. Match week 6 of the ISPS Handa Women's Premiership. Southern United desperate for to hold on to get their first win of the season. Bacon trying to get the intercept there, and Roxburgh's had plenty of energy since she's come on too. And Bacon once again gets an intercept. Great hustle. Looking for the overlapping run, and Roxburgh will get on the end of that too. Down in the corner there, and all sliding challenge comes in, and well, it was a clean challenge, and it's a goal kick for Wbop. Once again, very, very windy here. And Godbold launches it, but Lena Durand gets it and she lines up a shot, gets a deflection, and Wbop managed to prevent the corner at least. But Southern are probably at that point now where they'll be reasonably content and just slowing. Fraser, who's been really good today and very heavily involved, been great to see. Now Roxburgh, and there we go, very content to just lay the ball in the corner and try and wind down the clock. Make sure that you stick around on the skysportnext YouTube channel. There's plenty of action with the men's premiership today as well. There's Wbop desperate to try and get a late equaliser in this game, and Brown valiantly tries to get onto the end of it, but she's really been feeding on scraps today, and Curry just hasn't really been tested too many times. Roxburgh back to power, and Morton and Southern just don't want to make any mistakes now, but still try and create another chance here to kill the game. Bacon drops back and has a couple of teammates in front of her. Fraser to Morton, and now back to Bacon. Swings it across. Oh, there's a bit of an awkward one for Foster, who had got back there, but she did enough. Bacon sends in a good cross, but it's an awkward one for Godbold, and good hustle there But Wbop again get away with it as Durand was up there. It was an awkward bounce for Godbold, the goalkeeper. Kate Loy lays it off for Ollington. And Tony Power. Nicely won by Emma Court there, and Kelly Brown, what can she create? She's got Wisniewski, the overlapping run now from Murray, but Guildford does well. Morrison now with a bit of time and drives on. Oh, good tussle there with Wisniewski. Great to see right in front of me there. And Guildford, she's been really impressive in that left fullback role. And great ball here for Bacon, who's onside, 1-on-1. Long way out from goal, but can swing it across, looking for Roxburgh, but it's cut out. Loy, it's a rather aimless ball, really. Kelly Brown, there's still time here for Wbop to salvage something out of this match. Morrison with a nice touch. It was an awkward height. As we see, only 2 minutes additional time to be played here, so Southern, can they hold out for another 2 or 3 minutes? Murray loops it forward. Guildford once again, right place, right time. She's been there all day, and Lana Durand cops a shove in the back, and that's just what Southern United wanted at this stage of the game. They'll take their time with this free kick. It's good to see some smiles on the faces of some of the Southern United players as they are close to that first victory of the season. Can they hold on? I'm sure Wbop will like to think that they can create one more chance here. They've got enough time. Morton with another interception. Southern defence pushing quite high up. Just want to watch that they don't get caught out with the ball pushed over the top and out wide, but they do well to cut that out. And here's Emma Court, nice composure to Brown, who's so deep. Certainly not in the sort of place where she's going to threaten goal, but it falls to her here. It's a heavy touch, but Foster, what can they create here? The ball swung across. It's not a bad ball, but Mackay Wright well cleared and comes all the way back. And brilliant turn by Foster. Looks to find Wisniewski and also had Brown there, but oh, well defended. Kate Guildford once again, excellent. Not sure who would pick up a Player of the Day award here. Obviously Amy Hislop bagging both goals for Southern would be a standout, but been really impressed with players right across the park. And Kate Guildford has been excellent, and there we have the final whistle go. There's a lot of relief there from Southern United. They've held on for a 2-1 win over Wbop. First win of the season. Well deserved. Wbop battled hard all day. They'll probably just be a bit disappointed that they didn't create a wee bit more themselves in that second half. So after Amy Hislop scored early in the first half, equaliser came. I think it may have been an own goal that was bundled in to equalise a few moments later, but Amy Hislop scoring a second for Southern, held on to win 2-1. Thanks for joining us for this coverage, and once again make sure you stay tuned with all of the other football action on the Sky Sport Next channel. It's been good fun bringing you this broadcast, so farewell from Dunedin. Thanks.